Hello, hello, Gemini. Welcome to your November reading. So, before we get into your cards, the first thing from Spirit is they were highlighting for me that you've had a new moon. We've all had a new moon, right, in Scorpio recently. For you, that rules your sixth house, your health, your routine, your habits, and your physical wellness. And in particular, Spirit was talking about the mind-body connection, and they were saying, you know, it's really great to go through a set of steps like, gotta get up and brush my teeth and wash my face and put on my clothes and get out the door, right? And we can go through these things mindlessly, or we can go through them mindfully. And Spirit is highlighting how mindless is the opposite of mindful. So they're kind of wanting to bring you back to yourself a little bit, kind of like, your mind can be light years is what they're saying, like light years away, because you're thinking about why Saturn's rings are going to disappear for a few months and what does that mean in the symbology of the world. Meanwhile, wait a minute, that we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to skip that. That was toothbrushing. So, mind body connection, not speeding through the things that you do, but actually putting more intention into those things. Like when I am taking a shower, I'm really taking the time to appreciate every, thank you arms and shoulders, damn, for all the stuff that you helped me lift and etc. And really being where you are is what I'm hearing. Okay, so maybe there's a little bit of tendency to speed through things this month. That's kind of what I'm hearing. So here is your little kickoff guidance, and now let's get into the plot. Let's get into the story of your month, and we will also pull a card to look at your persona, the character that you are playing in that story this month, the facet of you that is most stepping forward, and the aspects of you that Spirit most wants to highlight this month. Thank you, Spirit. So speaking for Gemini people, Spirit, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, keeping in mind need to be mindful to perhaps slow down and be where we are. What else do you want to share with Gemini people in the month of November? What do you want them to know for their highest good, Spirit? My mutable air friends, my seekers. What do the curious Gemini people need to know in the month of November for their highest good, Spirit? Always and only for their highest good, for their peace, their joy, their abundance, their ease, their fulfillment. What kind of events, themes, energies are showing up in Gemini people's lives in November? And what do you want them to know or do about it? What is your guidance for Gemini in navigating the themes showing up in November? What is your guidance, Spirit, your advice for Gemini to help them step into the present and future that feels like their fairy tale? And that's something that they're saying. They don't always say that. We talk about the story of your month every month, but Spirit's like, and now what takes it from a story to a fairy tale? What starts to make it feel like you're living like a very magical life? And they're like, it's not an accident that we started with, hey, be more mindful. That is one way to instantly drum up more magic into your life. You start noticing more things. You become kind of like the high priestess. You're aware of these more subtle energies and symbols that were always present, but were passing by because you were thinking about, you were light years away, which is not a problem. It's an option. Okay? Okay. All right, let's go. Let's get into these cards, Gemini. Oh, thank you, Spirit. I love talking to Spirit. Any of y'all out there talk to Spirit? I know it's different for everybody. Always curious to hear your thoughts and experiences and how it comes through for you. All right. Oh, Gemini. I see why Spirit is talking about mindful. And here you are. You come through as the Knight of Swords. No wonder. Oh, hello. Come on, camera. You can do it. So, moving with speed, perhaps leaving some people in the dust or in your wake as you go. But you want to be sure that you're not leaving yourself behind. And that's the first thing that I'm hearing. This is like there is a danger of getting locked into a way of thinking, or thinking that like there's no way to expand out of this situation or grow. And I want to encourage you not to get stuck in your own head. There are so many places we could go. Okay, we'll start with you as the Knight of Swords. This is why Spirit is talking about be where you are. Knight of Swords may have you thinking and speaking faster than you can feel. That's what they're saying loud and clear. So sometimes we say something and we wish we could take it back. And now we're back to the toothpaste, the toothbrushing that I was doing earlier, where you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I want to say be careful of that. And for some of you, I feel that this has already happened. This is not for everybody, okay? I'm an intuitive reader. If you haven't been here before, I'm hearing different things for the different Gemini people that are tuning into this. Some of you have already said something or taken an action that now, like in hindsight, you can see that that was unfair, or that was rash, or that was more painful than necessary. And some of you are, I'm going to use the phrase suffering the consequences of that, and that sucks. So I am sorry for those of you who feel stuck or cut off, and I want to encourage you that there is actually an end in sight. There's a light at the end of the tunnel for those of you who are feeling that way. And listen, Gemini, not every video is for every Gemini. So if this doesn't resonate with you, maybe check out your rising sign or your moon sign or your sun, whichever, But for those of you that are feeling stuck, those of you that are feeling overwhelmed, those of you who are feeling frozen, those of you who are feeling cut off and unheard and unsure what to do, this one is for you. Four of Pentacles sitting in the past. Feeling a little trapped, feeling a little bit of not enoughness, whether that's financial, whether you're feeling like you're not enough or your situation is not enough, not expansive enough. A 4 leads to a 5. Inevitably, if we do not do what we need to do with the 4. I'll explain. 4s precede the 5s in numerically and in the tarot. If we do not be where we are, then we do not get the message and the medicine of where we are. If we rush past it, then we end up having to go back. We end up spending more time there, ironically, than we would have if we had just been where we are. Do you understand what I'm saying? 4 of Pentacles leads to 5 of Cups in the present moment. You might be really feeling the lack, the loss, I feel for some of you this is different things for different Geminis. Wow, I'm feeling a lot right now. And one of them is, it's too late. That's the phrase that I'm hearing. It's too late, as in like I'm too old, or it's been too long, or they don't even think of me anymore, or something like that. And I want to tell y'all that it's not too late. It's not too late. That's what Spirit is saying loud and clear. It's not too late, but it will be too late if you sit there and you stare at your empty cups and you just let them, continue to stand there empty. Just gonna pick this up for y'all and show you. Beautifully rendered in this card, we have the person very focused on the 3 overturned cups. And then in the background, they're missing the fact that they have 2 cups standing upright, and not just that, all of this juicy, beautiful, the fruit of life waiting to be squeezed and poured back into these cups. So 5 of Cups reminds us to focus on what is working and what is good, and really squeeze the juice out of life, joy, the pleasure, and the meaning. And if you're not feeling like life has meaning, remember that you're the one who makes the meaning. This can mean that, I'm stuck here and nobody cares and it's never going to work out. Or this can mean, okay, I'm being challenged to grow again. I'm being challenged to fulfill myself in a new and a different way, or with new and different people. Am I willing to take on that challenge? I think a lot of you are. 10 of Wands sits in your future. A heavy card, but also a card that speaks to being on the path. The light at the end of the tunnel that I was talking about, you can see this person is weighed down. They're doing too much. So you are taking on too much, doing too much a little bit, Gemini. But also home, the oasis. And that's the really the word that Spirit wants me to use. Like the oasis that it is there. As you walk through this desert, there is an oasis that is not a mirage. But again, you can't sit and wait for an oasis to turn up. That's not how that works. You got to go. And when you get there, you'll find there's lots of lovely fruit that you can squeeze lots of lovely juice out of. But you do have to go. And you do have to carry yourself forward. And Spirit is using a very deliberate phrase of love yourself enough to carry yourself forward and your burdens forward and say, you know what, this may suck right now, but this isn't it. And it's not over for me. If this sucks, then this means that I need to bring my feet to a different place and be there. Okay? The guidance, 5 of Swords. If you feel unseen, unheard, if you feel that nobody understands or cares about you, or that when you reach out, no one is reaching back. We all have these times in our life, right? And Spirit wants you to know that when you are going through that moment, it is a call to turn toward yourself, to listen to yourself, to feel yourself, to take care of yourself. Not because you don't deserve or are worthy of the affection, the attention, the understanding of others. No, but we have to start here. When everything else seems to turn away, it's because we're being turned inward toward our own treasures, our own truths, our own medicine. So, give yourself your own medicine. 5s are tests, in my opinion, in the tarot. We can get stuck in the 5 of Cups. We can get stuck in the 5 of Swords. That's it. Nobody understands me. Nobody gets me. Everybody here sucks. That's it. Okay, that's an option. It's an option to stay right there. 2 of Swords, representing the climate around and available to you. We can choose to just freeze. We can choose to just take no action because we're afraid of taking the wrong one. But then I feel that that will result in you eventually doing something rash. So I invite you to look at the bad and the good for what it is, and not focus on one or the other, but allow everything to be. And then to choose how to move. How about a little help from your friends? Sitting in the position representing your hopes and fears, the 3 of Cups. Important to note, 5 of Cups, 3 cups turned over and empty. 3 of Cups, 3 fresh new cups. The women stomping the grapes, squeezing all the juice, the joy, the pleasure out of life. You need more fun in your life. That's good medicine for you. You need to be around the people who care about you, who see you, who hear you. Now, the ones who don't, again, turning you toward your own treasures. But there are people who see and hear and, most importantly, feel you and celebrate you. Make time for them. Don't cloister yourself away. Don't hide yourself away. Don't lick your wounds in private. Don't try to soldier forward. 3 of Swords. Hurtful words, hurtful messages have been received, and now you need to decide how you interpret them. Please interpret them with heart and through the eyes of Spirit, through the eyes of unconditional love. Oh my God, this person betrayed me. I could take that to mean I suck and I'm worthy of betrayal and like nobody will ever understand my worth. Or I can take that to mean this person does not see my worth. Oh, how unfortunate for both of us. This is so shitty and I'm so angry and sad. And it's good for me to know that they don't see me and understand how worthy and how wonderful I am. So it's best that I let them go. Best that I start to tend to myself so I can move on, really. Know what I'm saying? How does this hit you, Gemini? I hope that this is helpful. A heavy reading, but sometimes it's helpful to hear what's really fucking going on. I hope that is the case. I hope that this resonates in a helpful way for those of you who are listening to it. And when it resonates in a painful way, I want to send you love and peace and reassure you that as you stay with yourself and move forward a little at a time in whatever direction feels the most like you and the kindest and most loving toward you, things will change and you will get to the light at the end of the tunnel. If you ever want a personal reading, the way to do that is just south of this video. Thanks for being here, Gemini. If I don't see you in your mid-month reading, then I hope I see you in December. Till then, bye-bye.